You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hey, again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that's Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Dini. We have another special guest for you guys. You definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, text your buddies, text your family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to say there is power in kindness. It's easy to act with kindness and understanding towards those who have been kind to you. But you know, the real power of kindness comes when you give it even to those who don't deserve it. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, that's right. Acting with cruelty in response to cruelty only drags down everyone involved. With kindness, you have the opportunity to lift up yourself and others. Being kind does not mean allowing others to take advantage of you. You know, on the contrary, your kindness can give you the positive, undeniable power to make sure that everyone's best interests are served. Yes, there are those who will not respond well to your kindness, like, I don't get it, like, you just want me to hate you or something? You ever meet somebody like that? Like, you try to love them and it's like, oh, I don't know, I want your love. You know, it's okay, you want me to give you hate? Look, I don't understand it. Anyway, act toward them with kindness and understanding anyway, even if it rubs you the wrong way. Even though they won't benefit from your kindness, yourself still will. Think of your kindness towards others as a valuable gift you give mainly to yourself. If anyone else is enlightened enough to accept and appreciate it too, that makes it even better. All right, take that from me, Coach Dini. That is my word. Are you ready?
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that's Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Dini. Our interviews are designed to go beyond music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings. You know, the ones who were out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's another captivating episode of Vigilantes Radio. Today we have the honor of hosting a fearless force in the world of filmmaking, writing, and acting. She has made her mark with roles in spine-tingling films, been a part of some really awesome and cool projects, and has founded her own production company, MVB Films. She's a true trailblazer who continues to break barriers and inspire many. So please join me in saying welcome, friend, to Meosha Bean. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How's it going?
It's great.
Yes. Yeah, projects out there in the universe right now that you're promoting, that you are promoting. And that's what we'll talk about. But, what has been on your heart and mind lately in regards to you promoting this project, talking about it as much as you can and even enjoying the fruits of your labor?
Yeah. Well, I think that definitely it's fun. It's funny. This project has definitely, I haven't really had anything on my heart lately to do, but this project, as far as like something I really am pushing to do and working on tirelessly. Because of truth, and I think we're in an age of truth. I think we're all kind of in this just this whole this whole year has just been feeling like, entertainment wise, things have been coming out. I think everybody's just kind of like, I think we're all kind of like feeling it. And this story, well, it's true story. Church Hurt is about, it stems from like a friend of mine who committed suicide last year. And instead of I don't want to go into too much of his history, but I've known him since I was when I was a kid, and we went to private school together, Christian private school. So, church has always been on our mind. God has been the forefront of our lives forever. And so just to hear the circumstances surrounding his passing, and that was due to church, and it definitely made me more like, okay, well, and you think you know someone, and you think that your friend is doing good, and you just never know. So it's always a good reminder to check in on friends, and people that you love around you, because everybody's going through something. But with this case, it definitely struck a chord in my heart when I found out some information about just surrounding it and why things happened. It really made me want to really get into dive in this subject matter of church hurt, because I think it's a universal feeling. I think we've all been there, and I think that's kind of what I'm feeling is just healing and also just bringing healing to others as well.
Yeah.
Universally, not just, Baptist or, non-denominational or whatever you are, Protestant, whatever, Catholic. I mean, this is a huge problem, and I want to tackle it with grace, and I'm taking my time with it because I definitely don't want to endanger anyone, because when you're talking about establishments, when you're trying to break down establishments and big company, it's a business at the end of the day. Some of these big churches, they're conglomerates of other businesses, and you don't want to put anyone's life in danger, because I have real people telling their stories, and I'm sharing mine as well. So, but I just don't want to attack people. I want to just somehow just bring awareness of how to not put your trust in man per se, or in people, but only God. Because, men fail you all the time.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm feeling.
That is a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah. So not only are you promoting something that's dear to your heart that you've experienced, but there's also eggshells you have to walk around, because the fight could get ugly, what's that legal word that people like to use when you tell the truth, but they don't like that you told the truth?
Right.
Yeah, slander, yeah. There it is, slander. So that makes the fight even harder when you find out that so many churches are connected to even multi-mass media.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to make sure that I'm taking my time with. Because this particular person, this church that I'm highlighting, without highlighting them, I'm not giving the name of the church, but I do tell the setting and where it's at and where it's happened at, and there's people that have left the church. I call it a cult, this particular church, and he's connected to some really major people who are of power. and it's very. So I'm just being cautious, like you said. So, because it can definitely be a dangerous thing to tell the truth.
Yeah, yeah. And this particular topic, you are sharing a little bit of your world in it. Is that correct?
Yeah, just a little bit. I want to tell people, like, first of all, I'm also, my background is definitely church as well. Like, I'm growing up as a PK kid. I definitely know a thing or two about what it feels like to, you wake up church. And I'm, growing up, I was very much like, okay, but as I got older, I had to find God for myself and, not predicated upon what I was taught. But I'm really glad for the foundation that I have. It definitely is a huge part of who I am today. And, but yeah, I definitely want to touch on how, like, I've been church hurt. Like, I've had situations with people in certain positions that took advantage of those positions and used, God's name to, like, do things that are very inappropriate. Now that when I get older, I look back on, I'm like, wow, yeah, that wasn't me, or it wasn't God. It was just the person that used God as the, the through line, I guess, to protect themselves and, say it's okay. When really you realize when you get older, oh, that was not okay.
Yeah. I'm a PK too.
Right. How does that feel, like PK kid?
Please stand up.
Right.
Yeah. So
right.
I went to church my entire life. Anytime the doors were open, I was in there. Nice. Reluctantly, most of the time. I can't for say that I was church hurt. I was lonely. Okay. A lot of times. And I was like, wow, that's weird. You're in church and you're lonely. And then it's like, how can you be lonely in a room full of God? Well, God must not be here in this place. I mean, that was just young me thinking out loud, and it may have been true. Then, we create the environment. People do.
Right.
And something you said earlier, you said church, but then you said, they are a business at the end of the day. And it's like, wow, is that the disconnect?
Well, I mean, they, to keep the church open, right? So the offering is a part of that, giving into. But I personally feel like nowadays the culture kind of changed. Like, if you go to those major churches, a lot of times it's like they're all asking for. I think when it becomes kind of, to me, red flag when someone's always like, well, God said to give 50,000, and it's like, okay, how about instead of putting God in, instead God said it, let's just say you said you need 50,000, and then it's like, okay, then I would understand, but it's like, let's not use God as like, oh, if you give 20,000, you're going to be healed, and these are things that this particular pastor was saying to people. So, and it's wrong, to do that to people, that you cannot say those things. It's like, and it's unfortunate because, it's like, and again, not to bash anyone, because, there's bad people everywhere in every establishment, not just church, right, where it's like you said, that's a disconnect. I think there's a lot of people that happen to use things for their benefit, and I think there are just some people that don't care, and I think that's why we have to be more diligent and have more discernment to understand, okay, this, I shouldn't go here, but everyone is not aware, because not everybody has that mindset to be aware of, like, okay, well, like you said, is God here, and if I'm feeling alone, maybe God's not here, maybe I'll just go somewhere else, where there are loving people, where you don't have to feel pressure to give an offering. You get, like, you should give because you love God, not because of, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's a way to go about it. But, so maybe that's the disconnect. There's a lot of people that they're just out for themselves.
Yeah, I wonder if I overturn the table, would people look at me weird? Like, Jesus did it? Yeah.
Right.
Kick the bucket right out of their hand. But I've been I've been a black sheep, a professional prodigal son a lot of times. My father let me do that. You know, I guess he saw that I was being reluctant to, like, being forced to be a Christian. Versus, all right, since he wants to be of the world, just let him go. And I'm back with the fold, you know, by the way.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
There was time where, you know, I had to run out and you know, find my own way.
I think that's normal, right?
I would hope so. I mean, you have a series called Church Hurt.
Yeah.
I feel like I escaped that part, but
good for you.
Thank you. But there are other people that you're highlighting in this series that didn't.
Right.
How can we change that?
I think what I'm doing now is bringing awareness, you know, and that's the hope, is that, you know, the more you talk about it, the more we just highlight those things. And I think the more people will be aware, and I think awareness is everything. I think once you know something, you should do better when you know a thing. But again, I think that's all we can do is if we want to see the change, we have to be the change, right? And so I think that a lot of times with I guess the micro influence that I've been given, I feel like, yeah, I've done a lot of great films and a lot of things and create a lot of projects, but this to me feels like right now it has to be told, and I feel like this is going to help people a lot. I mean, it's been very healing to me to hear some of these stories that I've been, you know, talking to people and from the situation about this, and, you know, who are part of this project. I've like, wow, you know, like there were things that I was like thinking about, and just like, not to that, there's some things that I never experienced to that severity of somebody else's experience. I'm like, wow, like I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that, and I understand why a lot of people don't want to go to church anymore after having those traumatic experiences. But, you know, and I always say, I think my thing I'm trying to, my through line is just to, like, you know, it's not that it's the church, it's the people. And I think, again, the more we bring the awareness and we talk about these things, I really feel like that is just one person we can change, or you know, you never know how many people you can touch just by putting this stuff out there. So, and I think I want to, and also too, to honor my friend who, you know, unfortunately, you know, took his life. I feel like he would be proud of this as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Is this project bigger than you?
Oh yeah. 100%. I feel like, you know, it's so funny. I have a lot of people that, you know, when I hang out with some friends, they're like, and then see people in the industry, they're like, oh, what are you working on, Bean? You know, because I'm always working on something, or, you know, whether I'm working on a film, I'm like, you know, I have other things I do and I'm working on, but I think this is for me really important, because we're living in a pivotal moment in history, I believe, in time. And I think a lot of people are feeling it. You know, I feel like we all are given gifts, and you know, it's like, what are we going to do with those things? Just entertain? You know?
Yeah, that's what they want us to do. Just entertain people.
Right.
Just make them laugh, you know. Not tug on the things that really matter. Just make them laugh.
Just make them laugh. Right. And, you know, I mean, I think we see that with, you know, with everything, with just the time it's just everything's so wild, like just, you know, all the stuff that's happening in entertainment. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you know, you're very aware of what's going on with the whole.
Everything's a joke.
City case. Yeah, everything. Everything
is a joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are real lives falling apart. every single day.
Exactly.
Like, okay, so you are on the other side of the mic. You're normally interviewing other people on your show, Creator to Creators with Meosha Bean, which is a very dope show. I check it out every time I get a chance. Yes, yes. But now you are actually having to be vocal about a project. Are you, I won't say are you a little intimidated, but how has your thought process been surrounding that you have to, you know, because you have an open campaign too on GoFundMe to raise the money to help spread the message. So how do you feel with, you know, where's your mind at?
Oh, with just the whole GoFundMe situation?
Being the spokesperson.
Being a spokesperson.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a part of our job, you know, especially as creatives. Sometimes you're going to have to go out on something you believe in.
Yeah.
You know, and if you believe in something, you know, you just got to push. You got to keep pushing about it and you know, till someone hears it. And again, you can't do everything by yourself. You know, it's impossible to do everything alone. And I feel like, you know, obviously you hate asking, I don't know about you, but like now that I definitely am older, I definitely don't mind asking for assistance. Like I used to, in my 20s, notorious for not asking for help, because I felt like no one cares anyway, right? And at the end of the day, no one really cares unless you care, right? And then I feel like also when you start to make noise, then people start to care. Like if you see, you ever notice like people, like it's so funny, Oprah can ask for 50 million and people will give, and then this person they know that's doing whatever they're, you know, that's doing something creatively, and they ask for something like $5,000 or $2,000, nothing crazy, and then they're like, it's the hardest thing to raise. So I don't think it's about the money. I don't think it's about the money. I think it's about, you know, you believing in your project, and I think it's about your status. I think a lot of people like to give into things that seem bigger than themselves. And which is interesting.
It is very interesting. I have not figured it out myself. I have a friend today. He's like, hey, man, did you check out Shannon Sharp's show? Like, no. Did you check out my show? And he's like, see? You're supporting someone who doesn't even know your name.
Right. Yeah.
But
it's very interesting. I think that's what it is. I think once you become something that they feel like they're, what's the word? When you become untouchable or unreachable, like, then it's like I care, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah. Does that create some kind of like resentment? Like, let's say you're climbing up.
It used to.
Yeah, it used to. What did
Definitely
you do to get over it?
Therapy.
Okay.
I am a big advocate. Definitely talk to somebody. Oh, yeah.
I don't know, Bean. I'm not too thrilled about talking to someone. Expressing feelings and true emotions. I don't know about that one.
I think it's important to be able to find somebody that you trust. Someone that, because especially that's not too close to what you're, you know, friends can only go so far because they're really close to the situation. So it's like, they're not going to really tell you exactly what you need to hear. And like the harsh truth. And I think sometimes truth is tough to sometimes face it, because it's like you're like, ooh, man, I gotta, you know, gotta look in the mirror and really confront self. But
that's the hard one. You know, telling yourself the truth first. It's not just hearing the truth from other people, but telling yourself the truth. You're like, okay, maybe I am.
Yeah.
And then
I think once you
get it.
find out, right, and once you accept it, the truth, I think then will you be able to grow and get to the next step of the stepping stone of your life. I think that's what the journey's about, right?
Yep.
Get to understand yourself and to be the best version of yourself.
Or wear the mantle and be that super villain. No, I'm just kidding. Don't be a super villain. Don't wear the mantle. Change. But it's so much easier just to, submit to the dark side.
It is, right? It is easy to be the villain because, but then the villain also at the end of the day also needs a sidekick. He's not alone. Look at Joker. Joker had, he had Harley Quinn, yeah, exactly. And you think about Batman, or just anyone, not Batman, but you think about any bad person, they wanted to bring someone with them. It's cool to be the villain, but at the end of the day, they really just crave love.
Yeah, even Gargamel had a cat.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there is something there. If they don't want to be alone with all their evilness, there's still some warmth there.
Somewhere, right? The Grinch, the Grinch had a little heart at the end.
A little one, just a little one.
I don't think anyone in the world is innately evil. I think it's something that's learned behavior. You
might be right.
Right. I don't think you come out the womb wanting to kill people and murder people. Even Jeffrey Dahmer,
Yeah. He was a cool college dude, and then, I don't know, something happened.
Yeah, I think, something happens. But I love films like that. I love psychological films, things that, that's why this project to me is fascinating because, it not just stems from just church, it stems from, behavior. How did this person get to this point of no return, of let's just use people for, my lifestyle. Let's lie to these people and say that God is this and have no remorse. And just in a villain, I feel like sometimes you even with the whole Diddy case that's happened with all these people that are coming out and doing all these evil things to people, and you think, well, I don't think people start out that way. I think it just over time something either happens to them and then they become the villain. Someone does something wrong to them, and so they want other people to feel their hurt without versus just healing the hurt. But maybe some people just don't know how to heal it.
Yeah, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
And healed people heal people.
That's right. That's what we're here for, right? We're trying one project at a time, I guess. And then that's the part about entertainment is having. I think it's great to entertain, but I think too it's also important to have those important conversations.
Yeah. So you mentioned that there were a lot of people displaced out of church or stopped going to church because stigmatisms, judgment. Oh, that's what I dealt with, judgment. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. I was on tour, a musician, a rapper.
Oh, nice.
And, well, what I was rapping about wasn't nice. But I come to the church, and I haven't been in a while. And they say, oh, look, it's the devil himself.
Really?
I turned around, I was, wait, where is that? And there was no one behind me. And, oh, me. And I was like,
wow.
Oh. And they heard, the disappointment in my voice. No, I didn't mean it. And it was too late. It was too late at that point. But, yeah.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I'm okay now.
Well, good.
Thank you, though.
Sucks.
Yeah, it did suck at the time. The devil himself, I haven't did any evil,
Yeah. And the thing is, too, that's so unfortunate. Judgment is really, I don't think it's just church. I think people are just judgmental in general. Even in the business of film, You get a lot of people that judge what you're doing or projects that you make, and they're always, someone has an opinion. And I think that's always going to be around. I think someone's going to always have an opinion about something you're doing, whether it's amazing or, whatever it is. I just learned that just to live your life for you and don't give a crap about people's because I feel like, again, people are only coming from where they are. They only are seeing through their prison, of life, and maybe it's like they judge it because they don't understand it, and they kind of want to live that or wanted that, and they just, didn't do it.
Yeah.
Because of fear.
Because of fear. Speaking of fear, I have a very brave question for you.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yep. Church Hurt series, the 6-part series. Do you have any plans to speak about this in a church?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Oh, you're so brave. All right. That is so cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh definitely. And I'm going to talk about it with it's funny. I'm speaking at a college next month, a film school. I'm going to
wow, congratulations.
Well, thank you. And I definitely want to talk about this project, and what I want to do is, just not just share this, but I'll be doing, helping them talk about the industry, how to get in and all that stuff, and what comes with it, your own entrepreneur, blah, blah, blah. But I definitely want to touch on this a little bit when I talk about it, just the overall thing of standing up to power, because it is a powerful industry, same as the entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
As we see, a lot of people are coming out, telling their truth.
And there are some gatekeepers.
Yes. And that's the thing is, and it's everywhere, gatekeepers in every establishment, corporate, it's everywhere. And
yeah, it amazes
that's the
me.
Thing. Do you think it's ever going to go away?
As you mentioned, we are in the age of truth. I think we're all having our Scooby-Doo moments where we're snatching the mask off of actual human beings and not monsters. With that being said, it's okay, your job is to gatekeep, is to hold people back or to let certain ones in. But at some point in time, this role that you're playing with this revolving door will cease to exist because of the fact, determination.
Mm-hmm.
With sincere determination, when your goals and ideas and passions all connect with your heart and your mind, I believe that you can accomplish anything, whether there's a gatekeeper or not. There's either you can go under, you can go through, you can go over, or just what they all say, just build your own thing.
True. Very, very true. Your own establishment.
Yeah, Diddy was a gatekeeper.
Unfortunately. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. I think it's going to shake the world. Yeah.
I think so. I think it's bigger than a lot of people realize.
Oh yeah. I think it's Hydra.
How powerful he. Oh yeah.
Watch.
Yeah. I know a few people that worked with him and told me some things back in the day, and I was just yeah, I'm good on him.
Man.
I'm good on him.
I just hate that, he's a black man.
Me too.
I really hate that part.
Yeah. I feel you. It's oh no. Oh God.
Yeah. Oh no.
Now another thing that someone can hate all of us for.
Another thing. Yeah. Well, thanks, Diddy.
Well, yeah, it's we've always been the villain, actually, in society. Really.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, I don't think that'll ever go away. I think that stigma will always stay in American history. But I feel like it's knowing that, obviously, getting out of that stigma and knowing who we really are and knowing your true identity and not what society says we are. But it's just funny, once that came out and I'm oh no, it just adds to the conversation that you're gonna hear, the stereotypes. They're gonna
mm-hmm.
That's a part of it now.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy.
Yeah, but
I feel bad for the kids.
Definitely. That's quite a few of those.
Yeah.
Quite a few young ditties out there. But yeah, I feel real bad for the family. That is one thing I'm clinging to, hope about the narrative changing when it comes to, black people always been the villain. As you mentioned, when people really, really, really truly find out the truth and then find a truth that supports that truth, I think, a lot of eyes will open and hopefully we'll begin to take back some birthright,
Right.
some identity, some power.
Yeah, and I think the only way we can get power is, like you said, is that when we know ourselves, not to get validation from others or other cultures. It's not about that, because validation doesn't mean anything. Like people say, oh, I need respect from I don't need it. I just want to know once you know yourself, and again, my parents would tell me this, once you know your identity in God, right? Because really, it's not what man says you are. What do you say you are? And I think it's just changing it and knowing, because God lives inside of us. Mm-hmm. We're spiritual beings, so it's like, okay, so do you believe it, or do you believe the narrative of society, or what society, says that we are, or something like that? And I think if you believe that, then you're going to always be seeking validation from others, like, oh, we need reparations. I'm like, what if that doesn't happen? I mean, look at Indians in the land. They never will give it. They're never going to get it. So it's like, let's not ask for reparations. Let's just find out who we are, and then after we do that, let's work together and build and change and have power. That's how we have power. Mm-hmm. To work together. We can't do it alone. So.
No, there are power in numbers.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, it's an interesting time. I'm excited though. It's exciting to me.
Same here. I'm very excited. This is a wild ride. It's getting even crazier. I'm just holding on to my hat and just keeping my head down. Try not to become a meme,
Right. Right. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
All right. Where can people connect with you online and check out more about Church Hurt, the 6-part series?
Well, Church Hurt, we're still working on fundraising, and you can go to GoFundMe. It should just be a Church Hurt audio series, and then you type in my name, Meosha Bean, on GoFundMe, or you can Google Meosha Bean and Church Hurt. It'll come up, and please donate if you can. Whatever helps, because we're trying to just get this out to the world. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Oh, I have two more questions I just thought of.
Yeah.
One, so you said audio series. Now, this is something different than your normal, visual stuff. Why did you go audio?
Well, audio, I feel like is more palatable for people, and you can listen to it on the road. You don't have to stop and go and rent it. You don't have to, you can just pop it in while you're working out, whatever you're doing. You got the office working, put that thing on and play it, and like it's gonna take you to a place. But I feel like for me, I felt like audio would be easier because a lot of the people don't want to be on camera. I wanted to keep people, identities not on camera, because a lot of people are afraid for their lives, especially with something that we're talking about that's such a big story. And so I want to make sure I keep a lot of identity kind of I'm changing, I'm not adding their names on it just because I don't want people to feel in danger, and they already feel in danger. Like I had people that were like, look, if you could change my audio, my voice and make it a little deeper, I'm like, sure, that's fine. I'm going to make sure that your identity is disclosed. And now some people are okay with keeping their, having their name out there, but for the most part, I want it to be, I just want it to tell a story of like the culture of church, and particularly stemming from this situation and then expanding out of like what's going on worldwide and how people are living in fear and standing up to power. So that's kind of what we're going with, and that's why I did audio series, because easier. Nice. I think.
Yeah, yes, indeed. I was going to do a joke about a Batman voice, but it was poor taste.
It's funny. It's like, this is serious.
Yeah, I need a writer, if you can't tell.
I love it.
All right, and my second question, I've peeped, like I said, I've learned about you months and months ago, and I've noticed that... Oh, yeah, you're amazing. I've noticed that a guitar will flash in a photo or two. So I have this creative segment that I allow my guests to perform. And I was wondering, would you like to do that? I don't know if you're a musician or just, you like taking pictures with guitars.
Honestly, this is a funny story. You're going to hear it first. I never told this yet. So funny. I don't play a lick of guitar. I just think having guitar pictures are just awesome.
Yeah, you rocked it. I have one too. This is my profile pic for a long time. It's like, oh wow, you play?
Man. That's so funny. I don't play at all. I'm so sorry. Sorry to disappoint. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, you have the hat and everything. I was like, oh yeah, she really plays.
Yeah, Johnny Cash here.
The hat and the scrapes and the guitar. Tricking people.
You know how we do online? Everything's not what it seems.
That's so cool.
Man. Well, thank you. I'm glad that I convinced you. That's awesome.
Yeah, you had me. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was my pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
You're welcome. All right. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is onlyonemediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request some music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.